You know what it is when you hear that?
Cool.
All right, cool, man. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Bandit Football Fans. It's your host Deji today. And yeah, man, we got a lot of things to talk about, man. I had to do the pointing fingers, man. I had to do it. Um, um, Today we've got D and we have Callum. And yeah, man, we got quite a few things to get through. I mean, it's been a long time since we've spoken to you guys, and come on. Obviously, it's been a kind of busy time for everybody. We're back in another lockdown, which is very annoying for everyone else. But it's quite kind of decent because we got to.
Not for me. The
Oh well,
lockdown,
not for you. You
no.
you still at work.
The lockdown works for me because I don't know if everyone knows this. I'm an anime fan. I have tons of anime to catch up on. I have tons of manga to read. I have an Xbox and I have a Nintendo Switch. I am good. I was ready for this. I have leaned
Makes
into it.
sense.
So
So if you want, you guys can find him in the gulag, getting killed plenty and plenty of times.
you know what? That's disrespectful, but I understand it. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Wow.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Right. So today, we're just gonna do like a mixture of stuff for you guys. We want to talk about obviously since the last international break, how our teams are doing and what we think is coming up next. Obviously, we've got another stupid international break again, which messes up everything. Yeah, we're gonna kickstart things off with Arsenal. Obviously, the first game that you guys had when you came back was Man City. How do you guys? I mean, like D, like, what's the form been like? What do you think?
Well, we're
Well,
doing
since
this.
the last international break, anyway.
Okay, Arsenal.
Did you say we're in this?
We're doing this. Arsenal. Yeah, right. What can I say about Arsenal? What can I say about Arsenal? You know what? Our form since the last international break, since the Man City game, like the Man City game was weird for me in that I think I can't evaluate that game properly. It was the first game back. It was also one of those ones where, especially because we had such a good result against them in the FA Cup last season, and this one when we're playing them, we never seemed like we all understand when Arsenal plays Man City, Arsenal gets blown out of the water. We're talking like 3 goal margins, 4 goal margins, them kind of things. But in this game, it was 1-0. It seemed close, but it seemed that for whatever reason, we weren't taking the game to them. It seemed like we were happy that we were only considered one. And at that point, it felt like I was watching Unai Emery's Arsenal play again. That's how it
Yeah, because
was.
I've heard a lot of
In
people
what
coming back and saying that now. Everyone's
Yeah.
now comparing what's
I
his
know,
name to Emery,
to Emery, no,
Arteta to Emery.
but the problem with that and that comparison doesn't really work for me because the difference between Arteta and Emery for me is whereas Emery was sometimes playing not to lose or not to lose badly, his defense couldn't do it. His defense couldn't pull it off. Arteta's Arsenal kind of can defend properly. So if, say, for example, until we ran into Aston Villa, at that point,
Yeah,
Arsenal,
they gave you that smoke, boy.
I was about to say, Arsenal losing 1-0, like it seemed like a couple of bad things would have to happen for the league to be extended. So, like that game against Man City, I don't like the scoreline. I think the scoreline was flattering to Man City because I thought there were certain points where if Arteta had just been willing to be a bit more adventurous, either by bringing on new players, taking someone out, we could have gone for it and we could have tried to at least smuggled in a draw. So that game was disappointing. But again, it's kind of like my whole caveat with this entire Arsenal thing is like I think I spoke about this in the group where with Arteta, I still have to give him wiggle room because one, this is his first proper managerial job. Two, all things considered, if the season wasn't all so jam-packed together, he would have had more of a grace period because you're looking at it and season ended like late last season, went back, we started going around again. Normally in this time frame, he would have had a proper preseason and other stuff, and then I could be like harsher with him. But also, it's like his accomplishments they didn't get a chance to settle in because you're looking at a manager who came in around Christmas, managed to effectively salvage our season, because if we didn't win the FA Cup, we're not going to Europa. And and he did that with a squad that was, let's just call it suspect. He managed to beat Man City and he managed to beat Chelsea. And these are two teams that were considered to be like better than Arsenal in literally every shape, form, and
So
manner.
this is the thing, right? Okay, I'm gonna throw something at you in it because obviously since everyone's played roughly about the same amount of games since the last international break, right?
Yeah.
So we've played roughly about 7 games. Out of those 7, you guys have only lost 3. Is that good form or not?
It's not good form. I
But
think
you've won.
it's not
Yeah, go on.
good form. It's not good form, I think, because the way the losses came about shows a problem with the team. Like,
Oh, you see this, yeah. So Callum, how many times have we said, yeah, it's not about when you lose, it's about how you lose.
oh no.
Oh, so now,
Let me
because remember, we always have this argument.
yeah. You're saying that. Let me put this and frame it right. The reason why it's about the way we lose with Arsenal is not because of the performance or any of that. No. My problem with how Arsenal lose is the attacking football is lacking. That's it. That's my main beef with it. Like when you guys are saying that, you guys are saying like, oh, if they pour their hearts out and they put in that hustle and all
No,
that.
who says that? I'm just saying that we.
Okay, so when you're saying, oh, it's about how the team lose, what are you referring to?
So, for example, yeah, let's take. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Arsenal game, obviously, but with Arsenal and United game, for me, it's the way that we lost that game. We just looked shit in the first half when we were playing this 4-4-2. We just looked crap, and I was like, bro, how can you go into a game like that? And that's coming off the back of winning, like I think we won like 5-0 against RP Leipzig or something before the Arsenal game.
Yeah,
And I was looking at it thinking, it's not even about pouring out the heart. It's just that you in the space of 48 hours, you just turn shit. And I was like, how do you just lose like that? That makes no sense.
For me, with the Arsenal thing is this, right? Even when Arsenal are winning, even when we've won, like I don't know, the attack has just been bad, right? Like the United goal, for example, was a penalty. And don't get me wrong, I still think that Arsenal will have eventually scored against that United team because like I don't think you guys were on it that day. But the problem is, even then, the how best to put this? At no point do I consider since there's no game that I've considered Arsenal an attacking threat. If that
Yeah,
makes
but
sense.
is that because about last season it weren't like that though? Since about yeah, I was about to say
since when?
So, I don't think Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal have been an attacking threat since the start of the season.
No, that's not the answer we're looking for.
No,
that's not the answer we're looking for.
You're looking for because you're fucking Chiefs. But but here's the thing, right? Here's like
you know that gift.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me.
I see you, but no. But the thing is, like, even when Aubameyang last season, when Aubameyang was playing on the left, because that's the argument people made of like, oh, when Aubameyang was playing on the left last season, he was still getting into positions to score. He was getting to positions to score, and he was doing a good job of it, right? He was still banging in goals, and he was still like, he was still doing okay. The thing is, like, this, like with all sports, all your opponents and your rivals are looking at you and learning and trying to like mitigate your advantages, right? That's what they did with Aubameyang. Now everyone knows that okay, Arsenal's going to try and get the ball to Aubameyang, and he's on the left. He's not in his natural position. If we can crowd him out, we're gonna do good. So whereas before,
I'm not gonna lie though, D, that's not exactly like a complicated thing to work out.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like this is why I'm saying like Arsenal hasn't, they're not or I'm not saying Arteta isn't maximizing what he has. And we had this conversation in the group where I was telling you that like it seems that Arteta is more in love with the structure of the team than the individual players in it. So in Arteta's mind, I think because he's trying to, this is also part of the problem why like with how teams reflect their managers. Like under Arsene Wenger had a particular style of football. And because a lot of current Arsenal fans grew up with that style of football, in general, our general belief is if Arsenal isn't attacking, then there's something wrong, right? It's funny because I still remember when George Graham had set the standard for Arsenal, which was 1-0 to the Arsenal. If Arsenal got one goal, they were going to hold on to it to the end. But now, and this is the thing, especially with Arteta coming in, I think Arteta is a manager who is still trying to find his own like identity when he wants or what he thinks a team should be playing like. Because there are a lot of times when we're playing this season, and I said this to a couple of Arsenal fans and nearly shot me in the face, where I was like, watching Arsenal play with Arteta is almost like watching a Mourinho version. Is watching Mourinho, a certain Mourinho style, but it's just Arteta that's doing it. And they were like, how can you say that?
Two questions. Firstly, in terms of Arteta and your comment on the way that Arteta's Arsenal is playing, is how much of that is down to the player that Arteta was? And secondly, it would be good to get your thoughts on the game against Man City last season versus the game against Man City, the most recent game, and how they
which Man City game was it? The one where they whipped us 5-0 and David Luiz decided to go full David Luiz, or the one we won in the FA Cup?
The one that you won versus the one that you lost recently.
Okay, yes, I can talk about the one that we won. That was a good game. It was a good game, and I loved it. But when it comes to how much of Arteta's style of play as a player translates into the current team, I think I always liked Arteta. I liked him before he even came to Arsenal. I liked him at Everton because I remember I didn't like him when I was at Everton. I liked him as a player. I didn't like him when he played against us for Everton. When he played against Arsenal for Everton, it seemed like he just decided, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm just going to fuck up their shit. And like when he came to Arsenal, I remember when he came to Arsenal and he started playing what was effectively a defensive midfield role. And I was confused by it because that's not how I remembered him at Everton, right? And I think, like you said, I think towards the end it might have affected how he came to start coaching. Because if you ask a lot of Arsenal fans, the way they remember Arteta is, Arteta just used to pass the ball side to side and backwards. And it used to piss me off because I kind of felt like that was a very simplistic take on what he did for the team. Like for me, every time I see him, I remember he was like a metronome, is how I remember him playing. In that, whatever was going on, the team would rally and the team would go and they would bounce back, right? Because Arteta was there and he was kind of controlling the midfield and just making sure everything was fine, everything was kosher. This came to me, especially when I saw there was a game we played in the Champions League. Arsenal in the Champions League, fuck. There was a game we played in the Champions League, and it was against Tielemans' old club. I remember that game well.
Anderlecht? Was it?
Yes, Anderlecht. And Arsenal were leading 3-0. Arteta was playing. Arsenal were leading 3-0. Arteta comes off. I think he got injured and he came off. And it was like cohesion left the team. And we drew that game 3-3 at the Emirates in the Champions League. And I remember that then because I remember watching that game and just going like, what the fuck? Like, are you telling me that we lost Arteta and all of a sudden the midfield, the defense just decided, well, don't know what we're doing anymore. And that game, like that's how impactful that game was for me because it showed me what it was that Arteta team, right?
In terms of what he brought to the team as a player, do you think that because when he was at Everton, they had players like Tim Cahill, Leon Osman, maybe Ross Barkley, the beginning of Ross Barkley's career, all these kind of number 8s, number 10s that were much more progressive up the field. Yeah. At Arsenal, like especially with all the stuff going on with Ozil, you don't really have that player.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the thing is like so the lack of having a creative player, I think we lost that the moment or a ball carrier or ball progressor the moment we lost Ramsey. When Ramsey left, I think that's when we lost it because I was just kind of like, okay, so that's done. Because the thing is,
wasn't that based on the fact that they thought that Özil was going to be around for a bit.
But you know, see the problem with the whole Özil thing was, this is no disrespect to Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil is, I still believe, a fantastic football player. I think he has like a great skill set, and honestly, if he had the what's the word? If he was
desire.
Not even desire.
I don't think he wants to play football anymore, man.
No, I think he still wants to play because
I think he wants to play Fortnite.
No. I think the reason why, and this is where it comes to that thing where I said like with Arteta is Arteta seems to prefer the structure to the player.
Mm.
When Arsenal used to have certain kind of players, Arsene Wenger always seemed to be able and willing to pay the cost of having them in the team. So when you play someone like Mesut Ozil is not going to pull an El Neni, and in the 90th minute is going to be chasing down someone to close them down. Ozil ain't doing that. Ozil is just kind of like, bro, I got the ball, I see a person, I pass to the person, they score. That's my job.
Job done.
I'm not doing anything. Like you're not getting anything beyond that. Like I can try and run around a bit, but if I do, just know that it's not really like I'm not doing it with like I'm not going to be convincing.
How does that affect Arteta's team at the moment? Then do you think?
At the moment, my thing is like if you're going to look at it and you're going to go a case of where he supports the structure rather than the individual is one, Aubameyang on the left. 2, Pepe, not Willian starting ahead of Pepe. That don't make sense. And like the fact that El Neni has a spot in the team tells you that like it's a thing of like if he feels you can do a particular job in a particular position, he'll put you in there. Don't get me wrong, I rate El Neni. I like El Neni as a player. When like Ben always gives me shit about this since forever.
All right,
Cheers.
All right,
Let's put my glass in it.
So,
let's move on. Let's move on to Chelsea quickly then. Right. So obviously, since the international break for you guys have done. I think you've done all right. So I'm gonna say this in the same way that I said it about Arsenal. So in the last 7 games, you guys have won 4 of them and drawn. You haven't lost, so it's a good thing. And you've drawn 3. What are we saying? What's changed? Because I know last season you was about to jump out the window because of goal conversion.
Really? I think Callum took it really well. Ultra last season. I don't think there was a time.
This is where we cut back to me, like literally pulling my hair.
Yeah. I don't think Callum ever complained about efficiency of goals at Chelsea. I thought he took that in a very like composed manner, and at no point did he lose his shit. Callum, how do you remember it?
I remember it differently. Let's just use one word. Differently. No, guys. So after the last international break, we came back. We had an interesting draw against Southampton, 3-3. I don't know if anybody saw the game, but the difference in the goals and the quality of the goals was slightly unreal. I'd also like to.
The back line was poor, isn't it?
The back line, mate. Well, let's just be honest. When we say back line, we're basically saying Kepa, and a couple of others, because that was the game that Kepa played in. That was the last game. That was the last game that Kepa played in. And since then, we've conceded 1 goal in like over a month of football. So, yes, 3-3 with Southampton. I think it was kind of a feeling of like back to the same, but with the addition that we can score goals. I did actually think that Timo Werner's second goal was going to be ruled out for offside. It was the one that Jorginho pinged it over the top, and Werner ran onto it and kind of semi-chested it, but the ball actually touched like more kind of down here. So I thought it was handball personally. I was very surprised.
They should take away the points from that game then, in my opinion.
Well, that's how things go, unfortunately. But then we went on. We drew 0-0 with Sevilla, 0-0 with United, which was we were not winning or losing that game.
Yeah, apparently. I think that was a game of just 2 shit teams, man.
Basically. That was a stalemate. Well,
yeah, that was just stuff.
From us, it was we're playing 5 at the back with kind of 2 defensive midfielders. We're kind of coming to shut up shop. I thought it was more on United to come and break us down, especially being the home team. Then we smashed Krasnodar, which I thought the score didn't reflect the game. Krasnodar were unlucky. And then Burnley, 3-0 away to Burnley.
That's a good result, though.
Yeah, 3-0 away to Burnley. I'd definitely take it. I think it's no coincidence that every game that Chilwell, Thiago Silva and Mendy have played in, we've just looked so solid and comfortable. I said it, I think it was the last podcast that we did, in it, the one where we gave our review of the transfers of our transfer window. I said Ben Chilwell. For me, I'm not discounting Silva or Mendy or anything like that, but if I had to choose one, it might be Ben Chilwell. Ben Silva would be a hell of a player. Ben Chilwell. And every single game that he plays, I cannot tell you how nice it feels to have a left back. Like, like part of my heart is just relaxed now whenever I see us play. And it was so in previous games whenever we had Emerson or Alonso, I was literally just waiting for them to mess up. I think a lot of Chelsea fans were as well.
Do you think Chelsea are on the way to having a complete team, like gelling? When I say complete team, I don't mean fantastic players in every position, but what I mean is, like, FIFA, when you've got the green for ultimate team. Yeah, is it becoming? Are we getting to that point?
We're definitely getting there. I think Frank's still working out his best, and I use the word team lightly because I think there's multiple teams, especially with the squad that we have. We could literally change. I think the game against, I can't remember whether it was Burnley or Sheffield United. I think it was Burnley away. We could have changed our entire front six and still competed. And I think that position that we're in is such a strong position, and it's why I've said a couple of times in the group, I think we do have the best squad on paper in the league. But it's going to take time to actually make that happen on the pitch and find the right combinations.
Yeah, but it seems like it's going that way, man, because I think the last 4 games you won those, and they're high-scoring games as well, which is a bit mad.
Yeah, man. 4-3-3 and then 4-1.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all right, man. Are we ever going to see Kepa?
I don't think so, man.
Bro, how's Chelsea going to get that 72 M's back? You can't even get that's gone.
I think we're going to see Kepa again. I imagine he's going to play in the Papa John Trophy.
Is it that?
Can I just a quick aside? Could the FA disrespect the EFL Cup anymore?
Because you know what? Yeah, when everyone is calling it, this is the thing. Yeah, I remember people would go win that EFL Cup, and people would go, "Yeah, we won a trophy." That trophy has become so shit over the years. Now they've actually turned it to Papa John. Well, I don't know if that's actually. Are they actually doing that?
It's in already for the next 3 years.
Well, there you go. Whoever wins that, I don't want to hear nothing from no one.
Just
disregard it.
We'll come back to Chelsea in a minute. Say, like, the problem is not even the cup itself, because I think the cup is kind of sensible in, like, it allows teams to play.
It don't make money though. If you win that trophy, you don't win that much for it.
No, but that's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, right? The only reason there's a certain level of disrespect towards that thing right now is because it's Papa John that got the sponsorship. Like, let's be honest. Don't get me wrong, I ain't saying like it's the top tier trophy that everyone wants to be aiming for or some shit like that. No, although Man City really enjoyed winning it recently, but like. My like, if it wasn't so, say for example, right, what's a decent company, Nationwide, right? If Nationwide had been the one that backed it, everyone would just have gone, yeah, it's Nationwide Cup and it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But there's something about, like, it's kind of like, even if it doesn't, like, the branding is just so bad. Like, if Papa John even offered to sponsor the Premier League, the FA would say no, thank you. Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like the which is why I always feel like I should call it the EFL Cup more than, like, either calling it the Captain World Cup, more than calling it the Carabao Cup. Like, it's just
League Cup. Just call it League Cup.
Exactly. Just call it the League Cup.
Just keep it simple, man.
Yeah, keep it. But again, unfortunately, because Papa John has dropped that money, we have to call it what we're calling it, which is the Papa John Trophy. Jesus Christ, that's kind of just
to get back to you on Kepa, mate. I think something that people are forgetting, the word's gone completely from my mind. The shaping of that deal is 10 million a year over 7 years. So currently, Kepa's been with us 3 years.
Yeah, but if he leaves, you still pay that 10M, you know?
I don't know if we do. It's a
I
7-year
swear.
contract.
So what? You can
I
shift
don't
him,
know.
and that's the end of that.
I don't know what the contract is because it was a 7-year contract of 10 million a year.
Sorry,
I don't know. I
how
don't know what
many
happened.
you guys going now?
I think it's third, right?
So okay, cool. So that's 3. This is his 3rd season, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So that's 30 mil you've paid so far.
Yeah.
Can you sell him off for 30 mil?
Yeah.
What?
Nah, dude, he wasn't even confident. He wasn't even confident when he said that.
What?
Some of the deals that have happened. Listen, don't tell me that's going to be the maddest thing.
Let me call this straight right now. If Emi Martinez is going for 20, yeah, Kepa is not sniffing. Not sniffing 15.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm expecting it. I would take 10. I would take 5. Right? I'm not saying I'm expecting it. But you're telling me you've heard something not as crazy as that. More crazier things have happened than that.
Yeah, but right now, I think
that's a valid question. What crazier thing has happened?
Loads of stuff.
Like?
Okay, hold on. Let me give me a chance to pick one.
Thank you.
Wait, I'll get back to you on that one.
Because people, you're trying to bamboozle me. I used to be in sales, bro. You can't try that shit. You can't go, crazy things have happened. And then I just go, yeah, that's fine. Because when you talk, bro, this is Kepa, right? This is Kepa that we've all seen. Yeah. Do you know how many times I was making, like, it was a running gag all through last season?
Bro.
Martinez for 40 mil.
Neymar for 200 and whatever mil.
No.
No, but that's an investment, though. That's an investment, regardless if it's crazier. Regardless if it's crazy money or not, it's an investment because the amount of money that you make from just Neymar's name alone is ridiculous.
How much?
Yeah, trust me.
No, you're never making 220 million.
And also, Callum, I see what you're doing. Don't you're trying to piss on my leg and call it rain. When Neymar left Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
Solid form.
Okay, 220 million.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying.
No.
The
price is irrelevant here. What we're talking about is like people saw Neymar.
Price is irrelevant. Price is what we're talking about.
No. Callum, you slick motherfucker.
What else?
We're talking about player quality. Who sees? Sorry,
price relative.
Sorry,
price relative to player quality.
Don't, Callum. Just stop.
What are you on about, bro? What is the definition of craziness? You're saying that Kepa's quality is not worth 30 million. So that is a price relative to the quality of the player.
Oh, then it should be less than that if that's what we're saying.
Actually,
if you're saying that the price is if you're saying the price is relative,
I'm not saying 30 million is what Kepa is valued at. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, in the example that we had before, we picked a number of 30, and we're saying that Kepa, whatever quality he is,
we did. You didn't say. Oh no, actually, no, you didn't. You didn't.
He said, when did we become French?
He said it. Honestly,
D said, "Would you get 30 million?"
Yeah, exactly. So a combination.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's finalize the question. Let's finalize the question because we don't want anyone to get bamboozled, so we can make it clear for everyone. Do you think at this current time somebody would bid 30 million for Kepa?
Do I think that they would?
Yeah. Do you think Chelsea will get 30 million right now for Kepa?
I would say it's not the probability. It's a possibility.
Bro, stop moving like Boris Johnson and answer the damn question.
I'm telling you. Okay, let me give you another one. Ousmane Dembele.
That's not no. We're not asking for another one. We're not asking for another one. Don't give us another one. I don't want to hear another one. Answer the damn question, Callum. Answer the damn question.
I'm answering your question. You asked me. Tell me a crazier one. I'm telling you a crazier one.
Bruv, don't you fucking try it. You
are all right. Let's move on.
Gonzalo Higuain for 90 million.
Okay, let's move on.
No, we're not moving on. Because Callum is trying to play us. I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Bro, you asked me for
Listen,
a crazier
you'll
one.
never
I'm
know.
giving you a crazier one.
So, no.
We'll never know how
What you're saying is, as like you're saying right now, there are teams that are looking at Kepa, right? Based on his form, right? Based on how much.
No, they won't be looking based on his form. They'll be looking at him based on the potential value that they can get in the future.
Sorry.
Listen, how do stocks work, bro?
Wait. Sorry.
Stock drops, then people will try to buy it when the stock is undervalued, right? Is that correct or not?
What the hell?
What?
Is that correct?
No, I get what you're saying. No, I get what he's trying to say.
If a
all
company
these times,
is valued
Benji.
at this much,
Yeah.
if a company is valued at this much and their stock drops to here, people will try and buy it because they know that is the amount of value that they can get.
But I think right now,
Well,
nobody. I think right now, in the next like year or so, Kepa doesn't retain that value. And also, if he sits on the bench for majority of the season, I don't see him going for any more than maybe 15 M's or something like that. And if they do,
I don't see either.
Callum, on your CV, is there? Have you ever been a salesman on your CV?
I don't need to be, bro.
Yeah, you haven't been.
he's making them sales, but
You missed your calling. You missed your calling big time.
I don't understand what is wrong here.
What skill? What your okay? So what you're saying is this: so you bought Kepa for 17 mil, right? Yeah.
Did we overpay? Yes.
No, I'm not even talking about your overpaid. So you did buy, okay. But so you said that, and then you say, oh, they're gonna. So now that his stock has plummeted, they're going to a team is going to buy him in the hope that because he has reached the high of 70 before, they feel like they can take him and get him back there.
No, I'm not saying that. I never mentioned 70 million. I said that he's underpriced.
He's underpriced.
Yeah. So right now, Kepa's stock could not be any lower. It could not be any lower.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Minus.
I think it's already minus.
My thing with Kepa is this, right? If Chelsea were able to get 20 mil for Kepa,
yeah.
Honestly, I would support Chelsea. I would support Chelsea for 5 games. I would give up 5 games where I'll be like, I need Chelsea to win these 5 games.
Listen,
I'll wear a Chelsea jersey for the 5 games because that's just amazing. That's amazing business. Like, actually, you know what? There's the only team that I think that could actually manage to pull that off would be Liverpool, because I don't know who does their contracts at Liverpool, but that man is about that life.
Yeah, he deserves a beer,
dude. Guy. Yeah, but the thing, my problem with Kepa and the way you're trying to sell me something is
I'm selling you.
You're saying it like, okay, there's a guarantee that where he is now is temporary, that he's going to regain.
Guarantee. When did the word guarantee come out of my mouth?
No. Because no. What? See, okay. Let's put it this way. What you're essentially saying is this, right? If a team wants to buy Kepa now, they're not buying Kepa based on where he's currently at. They're buying it based on where he's been at and where he can someday go back to.
Potentially, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So what you're saying is, first of all, when you bought him at 70, you seriously overpaid, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So you seriously overpaid. At max, let's call it what it is. Let's say, based on everything that's happened, at max, best case scenario, the most Kepa was ever worth is, let's be generous and say 35 mil. Yeah?
You mean when we bought him from Bilbao?
When you bought him, yes. Let's say 35
mil. Very max, cool. Yeah.
So 35 mil, right, is where we're saying is the realistic cap. So anyone that can sell Kepa for more than 35, is doing good business. Right now, like you said, if someone came with 5 mil for Kepa, you guys would sell him. And now
I think we would prefer the loan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And now, right? What? Because the level that we're talking about a Chelsea level club. Yeah. No team, no top 4 team in this league, in La Liga, in Italy, would touch Kepa. Actually, no. Not even League One. Kepa's replacement came from League One. And we all know how Deji feels about League One.
But you could say that
came from League One, and Kepa would not get into a League One, like a top 4 League One team right now.
Right now, yeah, that's because his value is through the floor.
No, but here's the thing. You're saying it as if it's just, oh, his price dropped. His form dropped. He's no longer a good keeper.
Yeah, of course.
Callum.
all right. Let's move on.
I'm confused. I'm confused. By the way,
we'll catch up. We'll catch up about this.
Give me one more. Did you know that Arthur went from Barcelona to Juventus this summer for 72 million euros?
What, this summer?
Yeah, this summer, September 1st.
Prof. Okay, sorry.
All right. Let's move on.
I would also like to bring up Pepe.
Callum, when lockdown is done, Callum, when lockdown is done, we're going to meet up and I'm going to fight you. Like, we're going to meet up and we're going to throw hands because.
All right. Listen, guys, we've got a lot to get through today, man.
This is why I can't do podcasts with just you two. You guys take me to places I don't want to go. Yeah? Like. This is West Brom all over again. This is West Brom all over again.
Let's move on. Let's do Man United quickly, and then we're going to talk about some other stuff that's come up, obviously, in the last couple of weeks. Right, so Man United, right? I'll just quickly chat about them, and I ain't got nothing. Do you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Obviously, I've been on the fence a lot about Oli, basically, or Ole, as they like to call him. Or PE teacher, as some others like to call him as well. Right, so I've always been on the fence about him, yeah? And I've always said, like, yeah, I can see what he's trying to do, but I'm not sure. I can see stuff and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, right, I've made my decision now, and I think it's time for him to leave. Do you get what I'm saying? I think it's time for him to go. He doesn't, as I said, I think in one other podcast, he's not the right man to take this team forward. And you can see that evidently. But, you know what's funny? What's it called? Wait. Whose volume is very high? Because I can hear myself repeating.
I can hear you repeating as well.
I think it's D.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So the thing that battles what I'm saying about he can go and all that stuff, and this is what causes a lot of confusion for a lot of Man United fans. In the last 7 games, obviously since the international break, he's won 4. He's drawn 1 and lost 2. Is that bad form, do you think?
Actually, let's ask you that question. Is it bad form to you?
No, see, to me, that's not bad. That's the funny thing, though. Like, if you look at any other manager, no, it's not necessarily that bad. As I said to you, the losses, you can take the losses, is how you lose. So that Istanbul one, that's we have to scratch that one off because that's unacceptable. That is totally unacceptable. That one is horrid. That's a bad L. The Arsenal one, fair enough, it's Arsenal, innit? If you don't watch that game and you see 1-0, you turn around and you go, it is what it is. No, that's not what I'm saying. Bruv, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Oh no, don't worry. That's just my default stance. I have to do that.
Yeah, bro. They need to keep that one in your pocket. But yeah, no, my thing is that again, the reason why I made my decision is you can't go and beat PSG and then smack Newcastle 4-1 and all that stuff and whatnot, and then go lose 2-1 to Istanbul. That's craziness.
Sorry, let me ask you a question then. You said you can't see what he's doing, but wouldn't you argue that, okay, if he can get 5-0 out of this team against RB, if he can get 2-1 out of this team against PSG, like, is it a certain thing where he just has like bad days at the office and the players don't come as they should?
No, because it's a pattern, innit? Every single time this guy's about to get sacked, he pulls one out the bag. If he had lost against Everton, I bet you now the conversation would be like he gets sacked. I see this guy, if he loses 3, I reckon from now until, because we don't have an international break after this, if he loses 3 games in a row, he's out. He goes, man. You have to pull the trigger. It doesn't make no sense. The inconsistency is bad. When he's safe, when he's in a safe spot, it's like you can do whatever, and everyone just goes, yeah, support the manager, blah, 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 do what you're doing. But then when it gets tough, because it's been tough for him in the last couple of games, isn't it? He pulls it out of the bag, man. He's actually bare jammy. That's the actually thing he is.
Actually, so here's the thing, though. Are you thinking like because Ben is very big on this in that he doesn't rate Ole as a tactical or anything.
Yeah,
right?
I don't. Oh.
So are you saying that really what happens when he's winning is the quality of United players shines through?
Oh, mate, we watched the Everton game, right?
Yeah,
You watched it as well, innit? So we watched the Everton game. I think the first goal, if you saw
yeah.
the way these lot were passing the ball and the speed and everything else, I sit there and I go to myself, why can't you do this every game? What is the problem? What's the difference now? What has Ollie said to you that he didn't say in the last game? So if you look at the Istanbul game, I was like, I'm looking at that game thinking, are you all mad? What's wrong with all of you? It's like he said, I use this example, yeah. In FM, whenever you used to play FM, yeah, you have a list of things that you say to the player before they go out. I'm, I'm sure 90% of the time he's clicking on go out there and express yourself. Bro, that's not what you click on. You click on the meanest one out there that says go and win. You don't, if you come back into the changing room and it's not 3-0 by half time, you're all sacked, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of conversation. And that's the difference here. I'm thinking in that Istanbul game, yeah, I said it, man. We went there, we was overconfident. That's why the defense started mucking around and still doing the madness. They thought, oh yeah, we'll go there and we'll batter them, 5-6-0. Wrong. Bruv. Man City goes into that game, they win it. Liverpool go into that game, they win it. And they win it tactically. Do you get what I'm saying? Where in that game it looked like, oh, everyone just go in the box, you're gonna get a goal in it. But then against Everton, the game's different. It's like I'm sitting there thinking, what's going on? And it's the same team as well.
So you're saying essentially Ole's problem is that either he plays down to his competition,
Mm-hmm.
or it's just that he's a bad manager, full stop. But every once in a while, the fact that Pogba is a World Cup winner, Hernandez is a pretty damn good player, Marshall is a pretty damn good player, Rashford has his moments. They're just kind of like, fuck it, I'm not losing this match, and then they just carry the team through.
Yeah, it could. No, you know what? It's really hard, man. I think there's a factor of things because when I look at that Everton game, usually when managers are in this position, the players kind of feel the stress as well, and they kind of down tools, and they're just like, who gives a shit? Bring on the next guy, kind of thing. But in that Everton game, it almost looked like, for me, I can only speak for myself. It kind of looked like they were looking at they want him to stay in his job. I don't know if it's because they're getting an easy ride or something, but it almost looked like, oh, we're actually playing for the manager. We want him to stay around. I don't know why. It's a weird kind of feeling that I'm getting from him.
I would be baffled by that because like when push comes to shove, as much as everyone goes, oh, most players are here for the money because hell, it's still a job. I still think like they still want to win shit, right?
Oh no, they do. No, 100%.
It's kind of like the discussion we're having in regards to Son at Spurs, where he's signing up for a new contract, and I was like, poor guy, and you guys were like, oh, why would you say that? And I'm just kind of like,
because as I said to you, he's just won himself 200K for low expectations. If they
bro,
don't win shit, happy days. I still got 200K. It doesn't matter. The expectations are low there, so it's whatever. Whereas I think
Even with
I think
Mourinho in
for
charge,
us,
Stage.
huh?
Even with Mourinho in charge.
What, that they're not going to win stuff? Oh no, do you know what? I reckon this season. I don't know. I can't. I don't even not even say that because if they go on later, it's an egg in my face, isn't it? But I think
yes,
with
please,
Mourinho,
please
no.
commit,
I think with Mourinho, they
commit to
can.
it.
It's possible. It's
It's
possible for them to
possible.
win a trophy. Yeah.
All I was talking about was
You,
the expectation
you
because
fucking
generally,
politicians.
if you bring in Mourinho, it's the expectation
But
is to win.
you heard what Mourinho said about us. His greatest achievement was getting us second. So if he goes to Spurs and they don't win nothing, he's gonna be like, listen, the greatest what's it called achievement is I got him in a semi-final. You know what I mean? Or something stupid like that. But it's true though. But we all know what Mourinho's like, innit? Mourinho will throw it back into the players' face and stuff. I just think with Man United at the moment, I said it before, like with Ollie staying, Ollie does more damage staying than he does with this whole idea of we're building this new team and we're building it from the bottom up and all that stuff. All that stuff is nonsense, man. One of my mates that I chat to quite a lot about United and stuff, he said it himself, bro. I think nowadays, man, these if you look at a lot of other teams, they move ruthless, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like even smaller clubs move ruthless. Like in about a matter of 2-3 months, if they're not interested, you're getting sacked, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas us, it's almost like we're trying to save the pennies. Do you get what I'm saying? We're like, we don't want to get rid of this guy. He's cheap, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Just keep him, just keep him there. But I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. As I said, the last 7 games, if you look at it on paper, it's not really that bad. But then when you look onto the pitch and you're actually seeing what these guys are doing, bro, it's a mess, man. It's actually a mess. Big time mess.
I'll be interested to know what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's contract is actually. I'm gonna have a quick look.
I reckon it's cheap. It's not that much, man. That guy's getting pennies, man. Compared to what Mourinho and and LVG and them will get. Even David Moyes.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? So you look at that United team now. What are your expectations for this team for the rest of the season if Ole stays in charge?
What do I expect him to do?
Yeah, how do you see the season playing out?
You have to. I think now he has to win a trophy. He has to win something. He actually has to win a trophy, and you have to get top 4. That's the minimum, bro. Like, it actually is. He has to, man. He's been there for some time now, man. He's been there for some time, bro. He has to come home with something, man. If he doesn't, bro, I don't know. There's no point of keeping him, bro. As I said to you, if we had lost against Everton, yeah, bro, it's a different story. Yeah, we're still going for it. Might as well buy him a Christmas present because he's there to stay. So,
actually, speaking of managers getting the sack, early at the start of the season, I remember when we did the fantasy draft podcast. By the way, guys, I'm leading in the fantasy team. Just throwing that out there, right? I'm winning in that. But besides that, more to the point, when we're doing it, Kizzy made a point of going Lampard getting the sack
before Oli, yeah.
As things stand now, of our 3 managers, who do you feel is most likely to get the sack before December?
Oh, Oli, bro, 100%.
Okay.
Oli gets the sack, man, 100%. Lampard, I don't think he gets the sack, bro. The form seems to be picking up. I think with Arsenal, if you look at it,
Arteta's
the whole defense, that's what I'm saying. For years, everyone's talking about defense. The defense at Arsenal has been pants and stuff like that. He's fixed that, innit? I reckon, January? Not even January. I think next summer, you bring in a prolific striker or so. That kind of solves that problem as well. Do you get what I'm saying? Bringing an attacking. It's true, though.
What this attack has reduced Aubameyang to. Aubameyang is no longer a prolific striker. We bring in a
bro. Since he signed his contract, bro, man's invisible. I thought he was injured, but he's out there, innit? He's doing
the disrespect. The disrespect.
No, but it's true though.
Sorry,
it's true though. All right, cool. Right, we got like 15 minutes left here. There's some
real-time follow-up on Solskjaer's wage, innit? 7.5 million a year.
Yeah, see, that's pants.
Yeah, that's cheap.
What's that? That's dead.
Frank Lampard's on 5.
Oh, I swear. Yeah, they don't rate him.
Before Jurgen Klopp signed the contract that he's currently on now, he was on 7.
What? Where? Bayern? Or what?
No. At Liverpool, the one that he just signed, he was on 7 million a year. Now he's gone up to 15 million.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how much is that? How
much was a Mourinho on?
15 million.
Mourinho. Yeah, see what I'm saying though. Look at the difference though.
How much are we paying Arteta?
Arteta, give me 1 sec, man. So Ancelotti, I'll just start from the top. Pep Guardiola, 20 million. Then Mourinho and Klopp joint 15 million. Ancelotti in 4.
What is that Spurs? Is it Mourinho at Spurs? He's getting 15.
Yeah. Of course, man. They had to pay up to get him. No chance of getting him otherwise. Ancelotti, 11.5 million. Brendan Rodgers, 10 million at Leicester. Bielsa, 8 million. Solskjaer, 7.5. Hasenhüttl, 6 million at Southampton.
Oh.
Frank Lampard, 5.5. And Arteta, 5.
They don't rate Lampard though. Still.
Nah, it's his second year of management, bro.
Arteta, you can expect, innit? They were saving that money to give to Aubameyang, innit? And also, Ozil was still a cash cow, innit? Ozil was still stealing the money, so it makes sense. That makes sense. But Lampard, that doesn't make sense. That's mad, bro.
Should we just do 7.5 million divided by 52? Hold on, let's see how much he's on a week, innit? I always find this fun. 145 grand a week. Oli.
Yeah, he's a deadbeat, man.
Do you know what's funny about that? You say that, and in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, these players are out earning their managers on a weekly basis.
Which shouldn't be happening, but we'll keep that one for another episode because we need to discuss that, innit? I don't think managers should be I don't think players should be getting paid more than managers.
No. But I think players should be getting more, definitely more.
We'll have to save this one. But one of the topics that we wanted to jump on today was I think Callum, you were saying someone resigned today because of some of the comments that they made. So yeah, do you want to fill in on that?
What kind of diplomatic ass intro was that? To just kind of like
I'm warming the guys up for this. I'm warming them up.
In news that's just reached us, we have to report that a certain individual, wink, wink, got resigned, wink, wink, over certain things that they did. Wink. Carlo, what do you have for us? Ridiculous.
So, as you may have heard, Greg Clarke, who was the FA chairman up until yesterday, he made some comments in an interview, with a reporter. In the past, he has made comments such as saying that being gay was a lifestyle choice, apparently, and in this particular interview, I'm just looking for the exact quote. So they were talking about the whole diversity issue in the game and trying to improve the diversity with inclusion and stuff like that. And he said, where is it gone now? Literally just had it a second ago. Basically, he said that there were not enough colored people, and that was his word, quote unquote, colored people in that was it.
Do you know what's funny about that? Yeah.
Sorry, Days. Let me just read it out. Finally found it now. So Clarke told the journalist, "I don't know why, but I look at what happens to high-profile female footballers, high-profile colored footballers, and the abuse they take on social media, which is free for all. Women and black players take terrible vile abuse from racist and misogynist. Why would you voluntarily sign up for that abuse?" That's
what. You know what's funny? Yeah, the fact that he said colored people just makes me think, bro, what are we in that? You know, it reminds me of, you know, when you watch like films like 12 Years a Slave or Roots. Like, bro, are you from those times, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what,
the thing for me, the thing for me, right? Like,
so, because that code seems so weird, because the first time he says it's colored players, and then in the end it goes black players. It's because I think it's one. I'm not defending this because it is bullshit. But part of is that thing of when, because you know someone's gonna ask this. It's like, oh, he said colored, he said black. What's the difference? Or why is there a problem with it? For me, again, like Deji said, you just know there's certain kind of phrasing that you're not supposed to use anymore. And as a black person, I know I don't fuck with someone that's going to refer to me as colored, because, bruv, nah, I'm black. Like,
it's basically what they're trying to say is that we got a pencil and we just thought, let's just make this guy darker.
Like, so, and it was
color him in.
Also,
yeah,
because for me, I think also it's like, if he didn't have a history of saying some out of pocket shit, maybe I could have been more forgiving. But at this point, I'm just kind of like, no, you don't need to say that. And also, I think it doesn't even help when he said what he said of like, oh, if you are a black player or you're a female player, why would you go and sign up for this and to get that abuse? Because here's the thing, right? Agreed, black players and female players, the women's teams and leagues, they do tend to get quite an unfair amount of abuse. But it's kind of like in whatever job you do, that it's very likely that's going to come about, you know. Even good white football players still get tons of abuse. Luke Shaw will forever be known as the fat guy. Don't know why. Could be his manager one time decided to call him fat, and nobody's going to let that go ever again. But like, you know, like, again, I'm not dumping on Man United, but I'm just, Man United examples are popping into my head. Phil Jones, for example.
Oh no, do you know Phil Jones? Yeah, I actually felt when he came out with that statement about who's gonna turn up, it's just I was like,
that was deep.
I was like, that's deep, man.
Yeah. And still, Ben was not so sympathetic, though, was he? Ben was like,
no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, but
so I get the. Shall I say I get the intent behind what he was saying? I just don't think, because at this point, really and truly, I think there's a lot of certain allowances we can't afford to give certain allowances for certain phrases anymore. because every time you do, you're dialing back or pushing back some of the work that's been done in this area. Like, say, for example, diversity is a problem in sports, as it is in quite a few places. I think, like, you can look at the Prem, for example, and even the English leagues, certain lack of like black managers and those kind of things. But like, if you're going to try and defend it or say, oh, it's a problem, maybe don't use the phrase colored. And honestly, I think where previously it would have been acceptable, I think the reason why it's not acceptable now is even as a society, there's so many things that we've learned not to say because people have had conversations with them and they've told you. And when you're kind of like in a leading position and you're sort of the face of a football association, you don't get to say certain things and then walk away from it like that's done. Because here's the thing, if you're going to represent these footballers, if you're going to represent black footballers, if you're going to represent other football players of color, right, you need to actually be able to, like, speak and get your points across properly without going to what can be termed bad language, essentially. And I think
do you think it was an accident? I don't want to say like it was just an accident, just like that. But do you think it was a case like he was rambling on and just forgot where he was?
I think that's it. I think he was rambling on and he forgot where, because I'm not immediately going to move into that's racist, or racist camp. I'm going to look at it. I'm just going to go because it is possible. Because again, I'm trying to be as understanding of this as possible. I don't condone what he said, but I'm still of the thing of like certain times bad habits shine through. So it's kind of like when you're used to saying something or something has been said to you, in the back of your mind, you may know that, okay, I need to phrase this better. But then in the heat of the moment of that, mistakes can happen. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't even have any reason to give him the benefit of the doubt here. I just don't want to be like, yeah, all this. He somewhat did the right thing in that he stepped down from his position, which is fair enough. That said,
yeah, but this whole stepping, this is my bugbear with this whole stepping down thing and all that stuff because we see it every single day. Someone of high authority in whatever company it is says some stupid shit that they shouldn't have said in the first place. I know. Then it comes out. It comes out 10 minutes later.
30 million or something.
So basically, so then 30 minutes, 20 minutes later, somebody comes along and goes, yeah, this person resigned. Bro, stop using this resignation word and start using, man, he got sacked. That's what happened. Somebody came to his office and said, bruh, I heard what you said. Just put your books in that box, sellotape it with the plant as well, and get out of this.
Dear listeners,
that's my thing.
Deji is of the cynical school of thought, where it's just kind of like the FA was like, we are not dealing with a racial storm just because of your dumb ass.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's true though. That's what it is.
It's also financial incentive as well, though, isn't it? Like, who knows? He probably, if he had been sacked, he might not have been eligible for a certain payout or something like that.
That's what it is.
Also,
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what a cynical. Definitely, that's what a cynical. The more cynical side of it is. Just to confirm as well, he was also vice president in FIFA. He was the UEFA's representative on the FIFA Council, and he's also resigned from that position as well.
Shit, so he's just stepped down from everything, isn't it?
Just from everything, man. Yeah.
He got sacked, man. Everyone started sugarcoating him, man. They sacked him, man. They said you're fired, and then he let to go.
I know this is what tends to happen when these kind of things happen is that a lot of people, especially online, and I've seen people online who have defended him, saying, "Oh, what's so bad about him saying colored and all that?" My problem with that is, again, with the level of education that's out there, because especially it's not a good look for the FA, which have made like a concerted effort to actually bring up like Black Lives Matter, even like all through the season, when the movement started last season into this season, they still do it before the matches, even in November, where I was thinking like by now, I genuinely thought, I'm not going to lie, and here's me being cynical, I thought that the moment the old season ended and this new season started, ain't nobody getting on doing that Black Lives Matter business and all that. And yet they've stuck with it. And then it's really weird for you to do all those things and seem to be like racially aware of what's going on. And then one of your top guys kind of goes, yeah, you know what? That stuff is just that stuff. Here, bitches. And then drop something like that. So
I was listening to I think it was a Talk Sport that had Troy Deeney on as a co-host the other day. And Troy Deeney was talking about some of the things that he had personally seen Greg Clarke do. So as in the changes that he tried to implement and things like that. And there was another guy, I can't remember his name, but he was saying the same thing as Troy Deeney. So I think the whole point of like what you were saying about D is in terms of like the FA as a whole, or the football organizations trying to implement change. Yeah. No one can deny that they're trying. They're at least trying. Like change is being started. It's by no means perfect, and it's by no means a finished project, but they're at least trying. And I think like for me, I'm not saying like to get to the point of the national team there are no problems. I'm not saying that at all. But in terms of the manager, in this case Gareth Southgate of the English national team, picking his 11 players, it's nice to feel that like there's no other there's no barrier in the way of a player's ability to actually get into that first 11 beyond their ability. And obviously I get like system and tactics and everything like that.
What's his name didn't make it? Grealish didn't make it into the squad, and I'm like, raw. My man's been on form, bro.
Seriously, Grealish didn't make it?
I think Grealish made it, didn't he, Dage?
Did he make it?
I think so.
If Grealish doesn't make it, Gareth Southgate should get fired.
No, I think he's in. I know Barkley didn't make it, which I was surprised at, given his performances.
No. Barkley, I get.
Yeah, but then who do you replace him with, though, innit? That's the thing.
No.
Lingard?
The team I get. Because, like...
did Lingard even make it?
No. I'm saying replace Lingard.
I'll break your fingers. I'll break your fingers. Just because...
Barkley is playing well. Did you enjoy the game against Arsenal?
Sorry? I did, but for
when Barkley was doing tiki taka in the corner, and you man just let him do. Listen, you see what he's doing.
You know what it is with the Barkley thing. Yeah, I'm not even going to knock it, right? So when after that game, when everyone's showing that clip,
what cracked me up was the pass afterwards. It was like nothing offensive. He just went like.
The pass was so shit.
But this was my problem with that entire game and how Arsenal were playing. Shit. Was like, it seems every once in a while Arsenal just looks at any team and just goes, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to make you look like prime Barcelona. And then it just because this is the thing. This was a team that we'd seen last week at Old Trafford do the business, and this is why again like. We've spoken about this thing in the past where I'm very wary of knee-jerk reactions, especially when it comes to certain players, because Arsenal fans were bigging up Rob Holding for what he did at Old Trafford. Arsenal fans were bigging up all the players for, this player did amazing and that. One bad game against Aston Villa, all of a sudden everyone is just kind of like, how much was Holding anyways? He was 2 million. You get what you paid for. And I'm looking at them, I'm just going like, you fickle motherfuckers. When he was doing bits at Old Trafford, he was like, "Yeah, hold it." And don't get me wrong, I'm up for criticizing a player when they need to be criticized, right? That's par for the course. That's fair enough. Essentially, it's what they sign up for. That's why they get paid, like the money that they get paid is fair. But I don't like this sudden idea of like these needs. Is why I can never watch AFTV. Like every time, no one says. I think what was it? Someone on AFTV was saying some nonsense about the Arsenal job is too big a job for Arteta. And I wanted to burst out laughing because I'm just kind of like, firstly, one, there's a reason you're not leading, you're not an Arsenal manager right now, it's because clearly you can't do the job. One. Two, no, seriously, two, this is a man that came in, won an FA Cup, and just broke a 14-year jinx at Old Trafford, but you're still going to come out chat shit? Like, fuck right off, them ones. But yeah.
Right, so guys, come to the end of the show. Just a quick shout out also just on the point of people doing a madness. What's his name, Teeny obviously decided to do stanky leg in the corner as well. Just had to throw that. I had to do a shout out there.
You know what it is. At some point every season, Arsenal must be a banter club. So yeah.
Right. So we come to we come to the end of the show. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please share it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification button as well. Yeah, man, just keep on watching, keep on supporting. Hopefully we can bring you stuff more often. And yeah, man, anyone else want to throw something in there?
Don't forget to enter Kelechi's competition,
bro. Don't enter
because it's a very important competition.
The prize is Kepa. You get Kepa for 20p
a day. No, a day with Kepa. That's what you get. One day with Kepa.
One day with Kepa. Yeah.
You can ask him vital questions like, "Why do you dive and not touch the ball? It doesn't make sense."
Wow. This is like, guys. So you know what? At this point, really and truly, again, I didn't care about Kepa one way or the other. But Callum, here
we go.
You
have a trigger.
You are an agent of chaos. I see it now. Like you're all smiles and stuff.
Round 2.
Sorry?
Come back for round 2 next week, innit?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll be watching. If Kepa gets sold, for anything less than 20 mil, you and I are having words. Again, we're going to throw hands when we see each other after this lockdown.
All right, guys. Peace out. See you guys later.
Okay, guys.